Ladies and gents, welcome. We're doing something different this week. There weren't a lot of trailers that came out this week, so we're changing it up a bit. We just came back. We are fresh from a screening of Ant-Man and The Wasp. We saw it at the time of this recording, Saturday night at 8 o'clock on July 7th. And we're recording this as of July 7th that night, about 20 minutes after we got out.
When does this come out? Like Monday?
Probably Monday.
Okay.
So I'm just time-stamping it. So I'm just letting you know before we get into it, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. So only watch this video after you've seen the movie.
Yes.
Or if you don't care for spoilers, you're going to watch the video. It's up to you. The three of us here saw the movie tonight. Myself, Eric, and Corey. So the three of us are going to dive into a little bit and share our own opinions about the movie. On the car ride back, we did not talk about the movie. So this is going to be all fresh. So our reactions are going to be nice and genuine. I'm going to start off with Corey on my left. Corey, what'd you think?
Dom told me not to say anything in the car. He yelled at me.
That's not accurate.
Okay, what was your question, Dom?
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was great. I thought it was above the line of really good. See, I have a ranking system for movies. I have terrible, bad, and then there's good, really good, and then there's great. So it's on the line of right over really good.
Okay.
So I would classify it as great. Shut the fuck up.
We have a dog with us.
There is a dog.
There she is.
I'm gonna get her. Now she has to be in the video.
You might see her in the other podcast we do.
Yes.
So yeah, Ant-Man was really good. I really enjoyed it. I liked the first one. I had a lot of fun watching the first one. So I thought, okay, the second one's probably gonna be good. And what do you know? I was right.
I agree.
One important thing to note is that the character the Wasp was introduced in this movie. We saw Hope Van Dyne in the last one. She was basically being herself, but this time she was fully in the Wasp persona. What did you think of her, Corey? The actress playing her and how she was portrayed in the movie. Did you like the character?
She was good. She was
very determined to. She was get a dog here. She was very going with her goal, trying to go for her goal.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I respect that.
Yeah, she was very goal oriented.
So
she had her focus and she went for it.
Yeah, I mean, she lost her mom. I could see why she really wanted to do this,
right?
Which is fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, she seemed now she has her mom. I can assume that she's probably very loosen up a little bit. And
until the end credit,
hopefully,
but, you know.
Well, yeah, we're not talking about that yet.
Not yet. We'll save that for later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed her. She was good.
Good.
She did a good job.
What'd you think of the Ghost?
Also very good. I liked the character a lot. You know, she's in a lot of pain.
Stop licking that.
And goodbye. She was good.
Good.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fair. I
don't have much to say about it.
There are some of us who will go into full detail, and some of us who, they have their own opinion, and they share it, and that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I'm still going back and forth about, just being fresh out.
Sure.
What do I think of it compared to the first one?
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to rank this one just a tiny bit higher, just for entertainment value.
Okay.
Just by a little bit. I still love Ant-Man, the first one. I thought it was a very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
This one, while, there's a little bit more... Actually, no. They both have heart.
This one I think has more heart than the last one.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say that. I was thinking more about, Scott with his daughter in the first one.
Right.
How that was. So much heart with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on par.
Yeah,
it's very
I'd say
on
it's
par.
pretty balanced.
Yeah. Definitely balanced.
What'd you think of Wasp?
I liked her.
Yeah.
I felt bad for the fact that, Scott was getting shit, but at the same time, the good reason why he was getting shit.
No, yeah, he kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of Ghost?
Ghost, I went back and forth with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I understand her motivations, but at the same time, I found her kind of annoying.
Okay.
She was a bit much at times. She was a little too...
It was overacted at points.
Overacted.
Okay.
A little too selfish. She could have been, she was definitely focused. I can give you that. But she was too focused on her mission.
She had an agenda, and she was really going for it because it was literally a matter of life and death.
Dom, what'd you think of
The Wasp and Ghost?
Well, the Wasp I really liked. Growing up, I had a weird opinion on superheroes. I didn't like the heroes I liked as a kid. I liked Doctor Strange, I liked Captain Marvel, and I liked Ant-Man.
Of course.
I liked those guys. And like same for DC. I liked the Atom and the Question. I liked all basically like the Z-listers essentially. And now they're all getting movies.
Which is great.
Yeah, which is really good. But
Which is
back
great.
back to Wasp. I liked her. I was excited seeing her go forward. She had her own like unique fighting style compared to Ant-Man. Ant-Man just kind of like flails himself at people while she really goes for it. From what I read this recently, the actress Evangeline Lilly, she in the last movie when she was training and she was doing certain fight scenes, she was trained in like Muay Thai and like UFC fighting.
Ooh.
She wanted to change that up for this movie because she kind of wanted to put her own stamp on it. She wanted it to be like a more graceful and less manly because like MMA and Muay Thai is very, very much a man's way to fight. It was developed by guys. So it's very much male oriented, the way you move and the way you carry yourself in that.
Yeah.
So she wanted to do her own like feminine style of fighting. A lot of kicks, a lot of flips.
There wasn't much choreography in the movie, but the choreography, there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like in this movie especially, they did a lot of incorporation of the shrinking with the fighting, which we didn't
Yes.
get too much in the last movie.
No.
There was some, but it was just starting out, so it makes sense why it wasn't fully
Yeah.
incorporated.
There was a little bit more in this one.
Yeah,
And
there's
it
a
was
lot
pretty
more.
cool. I really enjoyed that.
There was a lot more of the shrinking stuff, which was really nice. There was a lot of the shrinking and growing, in the fighting with like the car chase and the trailer, and with Ant-Man when he becomes Giant Man, and Wasp when she's shrinking and grows and whatnot. Really cool. There's some cool stuff with her.
The part was great.
Ghost.
Got big.
I like the fact that Ghost just wasn't really straight up evil. She had good intentions where she wanted to save
No.
herself, but it was her path along the way that makes her questionable.
Yeah,
Yes.
like the villains weren't evil. None
No.
of them were bad
No,
guys.
like
They
even
just-
Walter Goggins,
Yeah.
the guy who was the black market guy, he's just a bad dude because he just does illegal shit.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yes.
It's like no one was like genuinely evil, like
Yeah.
Thanos or even Loki at some points, and like all those
like
other
no
villains.
one wanted to die.
Yeah, like they didn't really go out
They
of their
didn't want
way
to kill anybody. They
They
just
didn't-
wanted to save people. That's what they wanted to do. Both sides wanted to save people, except
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
FBI.
Right. Even though
didn't care.
Ant-Man and the Wasp probably killed some people in that car chase scene when they were crashing cars.
There's
Most people probably
probably-
died, but it's fine.
Or injured.
Yeah, or very injured, crippled for life. Like
It's okay.
Batman.
It wasn't on camera, so we
No, it's
we
fine.
don't know.
Yeah, we don't know exactly. We don't know if their head was split open like pudding, but I feel like I need to see the movie again just to give a full opinion on Ghost. I liked her. It's just hard for me to formulate a full opinion around her.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me too.
That actress, she was in Ready Player One. She was one of the side villains with Ben Mendelsohn in Ready Player One. She was the businesswoman.
Is that with
in
T.J.
movie.
Miller?
Yeah.
Nice.
She was the businesswoman in that movie, and she was actually recommended by Steven Spielberg for this movie.
For Ant-Man?
Yeah, for Ant-Man. Spielberg said he liked working with her a lot, and he liked her as an actress, and recommended her to Peyton Reed.
Good for
And
her.
Peyton Reed was like, "Yeah, sure, bring her on."
Interesting.
So I kind of that's actually pretty cool, but I enjoyed her, but I do agree with you where there were some points where she was hamming it up, especially when she was interrogating Scott, Hope, and Hank.
yeah.
There were some moments there where it was getting real, like just cringeworthy a little bit at some points. But overall, I still liked her. I believed her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's her job. You're supposed to believe the acting that she's selling, and I
Yeah.
believed it.
Yeah.
There was just some moments where I'm like, you gotta tone it down a little.
Yeah, like I was thinking that especially with
It was like too
Lor-
melodramatic.
like Lawrence Fishburne's part where it's like he was changing his mind as she was saying, "Oh, where's the daughter?" Like,
Yeah.
I got very weirded out by her deciding to like, fuck it, just
Yeah, that
go
was
do it.
weird.
I think that's where that opinion's coming from for me. It's
'Cause-
just like that was a bit much.
Because in the movie, she's shown that she's willing to kill people since she worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., basically.
Yes.
But there was never really any reason to believe that she would go after a kid. But
Yeah.
my guess is maybe she was just so desperate at that point, she was kind of think of anything because
Yeah.
she's going to die.
Yes.
So, yeah, I understand that, but it also felt weird. It was just a weird jump in character. It was just a really drastic jump where it just felt weird. One of the things for me that just kind of didn't work, it just felt like there were too many characters this time. They were jumping around a lot between everyone, where I would have really liked to see more Scott, Hank, and Hope doing their thing. We
Yes.
got a lot of them, but we jumped around a lot, especially with the side characters. And Like the black market guys we saw a lot too.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't crazy about the black market guys.
They
if I'm
were
being
fine.
totally
They were
honest.
just-
I thought they were okay.
I just felt like at some points there were too many characters, and it would have been kind of better if it was a little bit more tighter, like character-wise. They didn't jump around so much. I get it; they're trying to expand their scope of the story, which is the nice thing about Ant-Man is the movie isn't about world-ending stakes. It's a small story in San Francisco about these characters just trying to do stuff.
Yeah, I think if for like the black market guys, if they just cut them at that point in that
Right.
first scene, I would have like been just fine with
Yeah, like if they got that material that they needed and they just fucked off,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with that. And like the main reason of the black market guys is so Walter Goggins can use his FBI contact, so then they can basically start that whole chase scene at the end of the movie. So that was pretty much it for me. Where like why they were mainly there was so they can get those black market guys in there, and then get the FBI involved, and then do that whole elaborate chase
Yeah.
and whatnot. But
Yeah. Like
it was a cool chase.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Oh
it.
yeah, it was
It was
great.
fun.
I like the action. They mess around a lot with the shrinking stuff, the shrinking and growing, which is real neat.
Yeah, it's something new.
I expected more action this time around, but it was pretty mild for me, like action wise. Like just about how many action scenes were included.
Yeah.
Basically, what you saw in the trailers is what you get for like the action scenes.
Pretty much.
They basically included all the action scenes in the trailer.
There's a few like stuff you don't see in the trailer. but
There's a few things, but
There's a few good things. That's
Right.
That's important to tell you.
There's some few little moments in there that you get that aren't in the trailers, but for the most part, the trailer pretty much lays out the action scenes.
Yeah,
at least,
pretty
at least
much.
every one, like the car shrinking and running away from them, and then when the
The-
office building expands.
The trailer mostly takes place during the end of the movie.
Yeah, they show a lot of stuff.
It's like it's
in-
all like everything
basic-
in the trailer is all Act 3.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of stuff doesn't really happen in the movie until the end.
Yeah.
That's where stuff really gets moving. Is when they figure out how to get Janet back, and then everything just hits the fucking gas pedal and they go.
But it was still funny between Act 1
Yeah,
and Act 2.
there-
There's
there's
some good like entertainment, like Paul Rudd's being Paul Rudd.
Right, he's being a
You
funny
know,
man.
there's- just
Luis
funny.
is still great. As
Lewis
always.
is still funny.
Yes.
There were some jokes in the movie though that didn't work. I heard a lot of people laughing, and some of the humor just wasn't doing it for me. That just might be because my taste in humor, or I have a different taste in people. I mean, everyone's got their own taste in humor, so they're gonna find certain things funny.
People like the Muppet trailers. Just letting you know.
Yeah, the Muppet trailer. Yeah, people are dumb.
You probably do, and
Some
if
of
you
you
do,
might like the Muppet trailer.
shame on you.
Yeah, shame if you.
Shame on you.
We were in a movie once, and everyone laughed their fucking asses off, and I've never hated humans so much. at
Yeah,
that
you're
movie.
allowed to have your opinions,
Right.
but we just won't agree with
Your
them.
opinion's wrong, but you're allowed to have it.
I don't like putting it that way.
Oh,
but
I'll
yeah.
gladly put it that way. Let's see. Lawrence Fishburne, cool. Funny that he's in this movie. I guess he's not
Yeah.
doing DC shit anymore.
Mm.
He played a character from the comics. I forget his name, but he played the superhero.
Goliath.
Yeah, Goliath. Cool. He's basically a giant black man. Yeah, that's neat
He's got
for
the
him.
separation between his teeth.
He does. He's got the gap in his teeth like Forrest Whitaker does too. Oh,
Forrest Whitaker has weird eyes.
leave him alone. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? Janet. You don't see much of Janet. But I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to give an opinion on Janet considering we didn't really see her much. We saw her
Yeah.
for like 5 total minutes, maybe.
Yeah, well, I
Movie?
mean, she was the whole mission of the movie.
Right.
It's like The Force Awakens, how you don't see Luke until the end.
Right. She's cool. I'm excited to see more Janet once you
Yeah.
know they figure out how to get them back. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Stay for the post-credit scene. The second one, you don't have to. But the
Unless you've watched the trailer. then
If
it'll be
you've seen the
entertaining.
trailer for the very very end post credit scene,
Yeah.
it's the ant
it's the
playing
Ant-Man
the
and
drums.
drums.
That's literally it.
The first credit scene is important.
But
Yes.
in the post credit scene, I think it takes place like when everyone dies from Thanos,
Basically,
Like
because
Yeah.
the TV is like blank.
yeah. So that's the first post-credit scene takes place like a couple minutes before, and then when it happens, when Thanos snaps his fingers, because Scott goes into the quantum realm to basically get energy for Ghost. I guess she needs energy to keep going.
Hashtag shook.
Yeah.
From this post credit scene.
And Scott's in the quantum realm, and he's radioing back to Janet, Hank, and Hope, saying, "Guys, let me out." And they evaporate from Thanos. They're all gone. So now Scott's stuck in the quantum realm. So that'll probably be addressed in Captain Marvel and or Avengers 4 because Captain Marvel draws her powers from the quantum realm.
I think this post-credit scene was probably my favorite post-credit scene.
It's pretty important.
In Ant-Man. In the Marvel MCU alone,
God,
besides...
there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
I remember like Guardians 2 had like 4 of them.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Howard the
It
Duck.
was,
Howard the Duck. It's an important post-credit scene.
It's important. It shakes you.
Janet says that you can time travel through the quantum realm, so
it was like mentioned. A little
yeah,
bit.
like she just says it in passing.
It's like don't go in the time.
Yeah, like don't go over there because there's time.
Because we won't be able to get you. He's like, and Paul's like, all right.
He's like, all right, cool.
So
that could get used in Avengers 4. So you know, I just wonder how Captain Marvel will factor into this. I mean, she uses the quantum realm for her powers. She draws that shit, so that'll be something. Maybe Carol will go get him.
So if you're wondering,
go get him, girl.
If you're wondering where Ant-Man was in Infinity War, go see the movie
Yeah.
and you'll find out where he was.
Ant-Man
he actually wasn't there. He won't pull a Spider-Man in New York. In Avengers 1.
Ant-Man was fucking around in San Francisco doing his thing, but they the movie takes place right before Infinity War, but they don't tell you when right before. The post-credit scene is basically during the movie. It's at the end when Thanos snaps. That's when that takes place. But the movie itself, it's real time in that world. So it's 2017 or 2018, whenever it takes place for that. Because it's 2 years after Civil War, which was 2016. So it's like mid-2018, basically. They're like concurrent with each other.
So, favorite part of the movie, Dom, go.
Oh, God. It was weird. I liked... The favorite part for me, it's not an action scene, but it's more character moments. I like a lot of the stuff with like Scott and his daughter.
Yeah.
And then with Janet and Hope. And then with Hank and Hope. And then Hank with Janet. I like a lot of that stuff. It's cute. Like in the beginning of the movie, the movie opens up with they basically retcon what happens in Ant-Man. Like Scott sees Janet in the quantum realm. They don't really show that in Ant-Man, so they do that in this in the beginning. And Hank and Janet are going to get that missile, and they show a scene of little Hope with her parents and just saying, "Oh, we're going on a business trip." And then they come back, and it's just Hank that comes back, and the daughter, and it basically knows. It's very upsetting. I was actually pretty emotional around that. I was like, all right, this is actually really nice. Even though Michael Douglas looks like a PS2 character.
I thought he looked pretty fair.
There's some moments where like
it was
his
good.
cheeks, I was like, yeah, okay.
It was all
Clearly
right.
that's CG, but that's fine. I was over it because it's a really good scene between them where
It was dark, so you can't really tell.
where like Hank walks in and Hope knows that mom's dead.
Yeah.
And it's all very upsetting. And then the stuff with Cassie and Scott where they're playing, they're having a fun time.
Yeah, that
and
was
then,
actually great.
And then when they're sitting in her bedroom at the end of the movie talking about Ant-Man stuff, it's all cute stuff. And then clearly Scott and Hope really like each other. So I like that. Their chemistry works really well. And I like seeing them together. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And then Hank being the angry old man he is, just being a dick to Scott because Scott was a dick to him. And then him being all cutesy with his daughter and his wife. Yeah. It's really nice. It's all little character stuff I liked. I even liked how loyal Luis is as a friend and how like really tight knit their group is, just trying to help Scott even though they can go back to prison. They're all going to help each other. It's nice. I liked all that character stuff. The action's cool. The Wasp action's really cool. But for me it all came down to the character work. I really liked what they did with the characters. I was all for that. I'm all for the nice moments.
Eric, favorite part of the movie. Go.
I'd say between two right now, even though this could change down the line.
If you had to pick one, go.
Let's see. The two that I'm talking about are "Come On, Get Happy," like
Oh,
the
the end?
montage. No, not the end. The montage where he's just like,
In the beginning?
Oh
Chilling in
yeah,
the house.
when he's fucking around the house.
yeah, I enjoyed that. Probably just part of it's the tune,
was
but I did
fun.
enjoy the end too, where
Yeah.
he reunites with Hope because he's free.
Yeah, and his kid.
The other one
He
is
can't
when
do anything in the house, though. He's just like...
Yeah, but it's entertaining to see that montage.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it was funny.
I can't blame him for doing absolutely nothing in that house
Yeah.
for 2
Yeah.
years.
I just
Exactly.
played video games for 2 years. I would catch up. I would catch up on video games.
The other one is when they break into the elementary school to get the old suit,
Oh yeah,
and
that was
he's a child.
that was so fucking
That was
weird.
great.
It was weird, but it
was
was entertaining.
No, it was funny, but I felt really weird watching. I was like, this is so fucking weird. And then part of me was like, how'd they shoot this?
It reminded me of Deadpool a little bit. Where
yeah,
baby
little
legs.
baby legs. He's called full Winnie the Pooh.
He ran like a little kid down the hall.
Yeah, he's running like a little kid.
Right in front of the principal.
I was just watching it, like, how did they shoot some of this stuff?
He looked like Georgie running down.
Yeah. Fucking Georgie. We watched Jurassic Park last night before this recording, and all of them wear the yellow jackets like Georgie. They didn't die like Georgie, but, they went out far more worse.
I can't decide between the two. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the montage, just because it was very entertaining to see him in the day of the life of his prison.
Yeah,
his house prison.
Of his stuck in home. What about you, champ?
I think my favorite part was the part where his wife possesses Scott.
Yeah, when Janet possesses
Oh,
Scott.
yeah.
That was very
that
funny.
was a good part. That
So
was a very
like
good part.
there's a part where he possesses, not really possess. He just uses
He talks
the
through.
mind.
He talks
Yeah,
through
like
mind or
Janet
whatever.
uses him as like a radio, basically.
and just becomes him, and he's like, it's like, good job, sweetie.
Yeah.
It's just Paul Rudd just
And he's holding
He's
hands.
holding hands
holding
and he
hands.
kisses Janet on the head, and it's very pure.
it's very
that was
good.
a very good
That's
part.
very
I had a
Maybe
lot of
that's
fun.
maybe that's it.
That's a fun scene. I actually forgot about that until you brought it up.
yeah.
But that's a good scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did like that a lot. But overall, I mean the movie's it's inconsequential to the whole of the whole cinematic universe, which is nice because you kind of need those little breaks in between.
Yeah, that's why I like.
Where like after Infinity War, it was just like, all right, what the fuck's gonna happen now? And this takes place right before, and it's not world-ending stakes.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people fucking around in San Francisco trying
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah, it's a fun ride in the Marvel Cinematic
Right.
Universe.
It's like Spider-Man: Homecoming, where it's not world-ending stakes. It's
Haven't
just
seen it.
It's just it's no spoilers for Spider-Man: Homecoming, but it's basically it's kind of like Ant-Man, where it's just a hero functioning in their own city.
Listen, the movie's been out for a while. I should.
It's been out for over a
It's
year.
my fault.
It's fun. Basically, it's like Spider-Man, where it's a hero functioning in their city away from the outside world.
Okay.
It's pretty much like that, where it's very self-contained, which is nice because you can get away with that with those heroes. Because Spider-Man works really well in his own environment, and so does Ant-Man. Ant-Man functions well as by himself with his people, and then in a unit with the Avengers, which like the Captain America movies, the Iron Man movies, the Thor movies, they're all about world-ending stakes. Which those characters they're big characters, they're larger than life. And then there's Ant-Man, who can literally become larger than life, but he functions really well as either as a key component in a group or in his own self-contained little thing, which is nice. In the comics, later in post, we can throw up a picture of the Ant-Man comic, the newer ones. Ant-Man starts his own security business with some former supervillains. One is Man-Bear. It's a man in a bear costume.
Man-bear pig.
No, just Man-Bear.
Damn it.
He's a man in a bear costume, and then there's another person. I forget his name, but he's basically like a walking computer. He starts it up in Miami. His daughter's there after she died like 3 times. She becomes a superhero in the comics, and she dies a bunch. It's fine. Scott got her killed once. It happens. So like that little thing in Ant-Man 2 where she wants to be a superhero. There's some rumors that for Avengers 4 they hired a teenager version of Cassie. Because there was an actress that posted on Instagram saying she enjoyed her time on Avengers 4 and whatever, and she looks like an older version of the little girl. So I mean, if Avengers 4 is supposed to do some time travel shit, then there we go. We might get the Young Avengers. That's who she's a part of. Hulkling and a bunch of other people. So that'll be fun.
That'd be really fun.
That'll be fun.
That'd be cool.
I like the kid a lot. She wasn't annoying.
She's very cute.
I was compelled by the little girl. She's not bad. There's one point in the close-up of her when she's talking to her dad in her bedroom in the apartment. Her eyes keep moving around, which was confusing me. It was a little annoying, but she's a little kid actor. It's fine. But I was just amused by that. But overall, she's pretty good too. She's very believable. But overall, it's hard to rank all these movies. You can't really compare them together.
they're
I mean,
hard.
like the only movie I can compare it with is the first Ant-Man movie, and I like it a little bit more than the first Ant-Man movie because this isn't an origin story. Once the movie starts, they hit the ground running. unlike in the first Ant-Man movie, you got to set everything up because it's an origin. But I think this one works a little bit better too, mainly because for the first Ant-Man movie, it was supposed to be Edgar Wright who was supposed to direct it. He wrote the script with a friend, and then he dropped out of the project last minute.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yes. So that's when Peyton Reed, the director for this one, jumped on. Him and Paul Rudd rewrote the script with Adam McKay.
Edgar Wright, what did he do?
Baby Driver?
Baby Driver, Shaun of the Dead,
Shaun
World's
of the Dead,
End,
that's what it was.
Hot Fuzz.
Fucking great movies.
Yeah, he
I
did
fucking
all
love
those.
movies.
Baby Driver was basically his Ant-Man. It was his draft of Ant-Man was basically going to be a heist, which eventually what the newer one based off of. So what was nice was this one was basically it was a fresh movie. It wasn't like Frankenstein with the other Ant-Man movie, and then they rewrote a bunch of stuff. It was their idea.
Yeah, it was totally different from the first one.
Yeah, it
For
felt very
sure.
different. Even the way it looked too, it was a lot more colorful.
There was a lot. It was very different.
The first Ant-Man was dark and drabby and shit.
You notice that with a lot of the Marvel movies, or at least comparing the first one to the next one.
Yeah, they just get all colorful.
Drastically different. Even with Iron Man, that one was much more gritty and real.
Yeah.
And then once you get to Iron Man 3 and Avengers,
And then
Phase 2
he
area,
becomes
it's
anime.
So
much.
if you decide to go see a movie this weekend, do not see Jurassic World. Go see
Jurassic World.
Ant-Man.
Go see
if
Ant-Man.
not, go see Incredibles 2.
Yeah, honestly, both Disney
Don't see
movies.
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go see any of those.
I fucking love Chris
You
Pratt,
can see Solo
but
if you'd like. If it's still in theaters.
If it's still in theaters.
nah, it's fine. Just go see this movie. Just go see Ant-Man. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Our theater
Yes.
was...
Just have a lot of fun if you want to see another
Everyone had a good time.
MCU.
Yeah, our theater had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Our theater was pretty empty, which is fair for Ant-Man because it's fucking Ant-Man. He's not going to draw a crowd, but the original Ant-Man made $50 million opening weekend. At the time of this writing, this one's supposed to do $80 million. It could go up and could go down, but at the time of this recording, that's what they're projecting, which for a movie in general, that's not bad. And for a movie that originally opened with $50 million 3 years ago, that's not bad. That's a good improvement. And for a movie about a fucking ant, a guy called Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's still good. That's solid. That's what did Justice League do? Did they do $100 million or something, or did they do $70 million their opening weekend? I don't remember. But maybe
Who cares?
they may have did more, but it's fine.
Who
My
cares?
point was,
No one cares.
I like
Gotta
all
see
these
what
movies.
Squirrel Girl
Justice
would
League
be
was
like.
it was
Yeah.
alright. I thought it was okay.
Which?
Justice League.
fuck
I thought it was okay.
Fuck that movie.
It had,
But,
It had its moments.
it had Wonder Woman and
you had
Batman
Wonder Woman, which
and
they-
Batfleck.
Yeah, then
So it's
Batfleck,
fine.
Even though they butchered Wonder Woman in that movie, it's fine. It's totally fine. Ant-Man. Yeah, go see that film. I'm not gonna say go rush out and go see it
No,
because
don't rush out.
it's inconsequential to the whole thing if you're really focused on the whole story of this and you just don't want to watch every movie. But if you want a fun summer movie, especially now the summer schedule's starting to wind down a little bit with movies. I don't know why I'm going like this, but the summer
like
schedule
this.
is winding down with movies. We basically got a lot of the big releases out of the way already. I don't know what comes next, honestly. If there are any other big releases coming out and until the fall where they're going to shove blockbusters in our face for this fall. Venom. Go watch that movie. There goes my phone.
Leave that in.
Leave that in. But Ant-Man's, instead of me traveling on, it's a fun movie. It's a fun summer movie. It didn't feel like it dragged at all. It didn't feel like it was long. It was probably just about 2 hours. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, it started at 8.
It started
It
at
ended at
8:30.
10.
It ended.
Well, yeah, I guess
15,
8:30
yeah.
and it ended around 8:15,
8:20,
10:15
10:20,
ish.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was basically a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun ride. I like it. They do some really cool stuff with the shrinking. I mean, if you watch the trailers already, you basically got the gist of what they're going for. But I mean, the people who are watching this should have watched the movie by now. But if there are people watching this who haven't, then there you go. That's basically the whole gist of it. But I don't really give movies like number ratings or that. I just kind of say I like it or I really like it or I don't like it. But if I had to put a number on this movie and I did it out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
I'd probably say
That's
the same.
pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'd give
I would
both
definitely-
Ant-Man movies 8 out of 10.
There are some questionable things in this movie, like with how there's so many characters and some stuff with the villain. I mean, it's not the general Marvel villain problem. It's actually a different villain this time around, which is nice, especially after Grimace the monster in the last one, in the last Marvel movie. But yeah, go check out Ant-Man. It's gonna be in theaters for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I can't wait to see more, especially how the fuck they're gonna get Scott out of that quantum realm.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward for the Wasp. She's gonna be in Avengers 4. Evangeline Lilly said she's in there for a little bit, so who knows? She probably shows up to help them fight the purple monster, which is fine. We got to see Hank Pym in a suit. It wasn't the Ant-Man suit. But we got to see him in a suit. Cool. Old man Michael Douglas in a suit in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Doing his own thing with Janet.
So in conclusion,
Dom
will conclude the podcast.
In
today.
conclusion, all of us seem to enjoy it.
Yes.
We all have our own little talking points about our own little gripes, but it's a movie. That's how it goes. But overall, we all give it a solid rating. I
agree.
We give it a go see it. Go see this movie. Don't rush, but go see it. If you have some free time on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever, or even if you don't do anything.
If you're
during the week,
bored,
just-
you nothing to do,
yeah.
go see it.
If you find yourself sitting down, not knowing what to do, and you want to go to the movies, go see your boy Ant-Man. Give Scott and
Yeah.
Hope some money. They got kids
Just
to
go see Bobby Newport. Go see him be a superhero.
Exactly. Go see Bobby Newport be a superhero. Boys, thank you for coming on tonight. It's late for us. It's past 11 o'clock. I'm tired.
And
I'm an
thank
old man.
you
Yes.
for watching.
Thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting movies. Remember, be good people.
That's for the other show.
Doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Be better people.
There you go. Be better people.
Done.